All right, so we got the Bergund on the bottom of the screen, Slepher on the top. Is this a mirror match?
It would appear that way.
It's like it. I can see
Are there
why
any
they're not
differences?
finished yet.
They do have some differences. Bergund has a main deck Pristine Light and one Just Desserts. Slepher has 2 Vanquish, 2 Just Desserts. Hailstorms for both, Genev Merchants for both.
So pretty much a mirror match.
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean,
an
no
exact mirror, but
appreciable
pretty close.
differences.
Yeah. This deck, of course, you might recognize Lights Out Ace deck from Worlds. Pretty powerful, pretty clean deck. Nothing new or fancy here, really. It's just your classic power. You want to win some matches is what you can play in a tournament. The Bergund, of course, being one of our challenge winners, so they're already queued for the Invitational in March. Slepher currently number 22 on the leaderboard, hoping to get some big points today and move up.
The only big difference I see in the two lists is the Bergund has the one of Prodigious Sorcery to get back a Channel of the Tempest at some point. And I don't know how relevant that is in this mirror. Is it just whoops?
Both players with a ton of action in hand. Let me see if I can get Slepher's hand cam up here as well. All right, Slepher's working with a ton of action as well. They've got a Harsh Rule, a backup Garden, a Vank, 2 Harsh Rules, Torch. A lot of removal, actually. So Torch, 2 Vanquishes, 2 Harsh Rules, and then a Garden of Omens. So looks like Slepher could probably use some card draw, some filtering, some more action. But they are going to have this Garden of Omens go off with a backup Garden, so that's pretty good.
I mean, this is mostly a race to Scourge of Frostholm, isn't it?
Yeah, I would think so.
So here's last power for the Bergund. So they'll get it next turn. So Slepher's on the clock to find a market card now.
Slepher have any way to go to the market? Doesn't look
Genev
like
Merchant
it.
is what I saw on the list.
Sorry, in hand, yes. In
yeah.
hand, I don't believe so. Yeah, nothing in hand can go to the market as far as I can see. Bergund has double merchant, so Bergund can definitely get there. So Slepher was able to get their garden off first, but as you mentioned, unless they can find a way to go get Scourge of Frostholm, Bergund can get it next turn.
Because I think what this turn for Bergund will look like is something like Hailstorm, Torch, play a merchant, get your Scourge, and then just wait. That does give Slepher one more turn to draw merchant off the top because, they can't merchant and Scourge. It's 10.
Right, they can't merchant and Scourge, but they can grab it this turn. Oh, they're actually going to go. So Bergund's going to grab Savage Incursion.
That's interesting. I mean, this is probably fine, but
But Slepher has Harsh Rules in hand. Still no way to go to the market though, so their really only option other than removal is to play a second Garden of Omens. Go for some card draw.
I mean, I'm not saying I know how to play a control deck better than Bergund, but I don't understand why they're not just racing to Scourge of Frostholm.
Yeah, Bergund.
Maybe that's because I don't know what I'm talking about.
You're gonna have to tell us in chat, Bergund, why that play over Scourge of Frostholm, but you are the master. All right. Slepher gonna attack in first. This seems to me like a harsh rule here, attacking into the units.
I suppose the reason is your opponent can play one and then block, but you get then you can't. Neither of you play spells and they just trade. That might be the reason.
Mm-hmm. Gonna use the torch to make sure that we get the merchant off as well. That harsh rule is gonna take care of all the units. Followed up by the second garden, and they're going to resurface, and let's see what they resurface for. Actually, we cannot see, unfortunately, from the spectate mode, so we'll see next turn. That's a good point. If Bergund gets their Scourge of Frostholm and Slepher just goes and gets theirs. Now, we know that Slepher currently does not have any way to do that. Of course, the Bergund does not know that. Raiden Gardens here.
Huh. Oh, they want to do it all at once?
4/4. Treasure Trove going to get a Hailstorm. I have a feeling that's not going to do much in this matchup. Here comes the Honor of Claws. So, yep, they went and got card draw off of that resurface. Going to get a Just Desserts, a Knife, and there's the Merchant. So that's the Merchant that Slepher needed. They also have a End of the Story off the top, but not going to deploy that here. All right, so if you're Slepher, do you go to the market right now and get your Scourge?
I have no idea. I do think that the reason that maybe they're not is that they just run into each other and they trade.
Here comes the Savage Incursion.
See, nobody wants Scourge of Frostholm.
Yeah, interesting. All right, I'm gonna kill Bergund's Garden and then play out their army of 6/4s. Now, interestingly, Slepher had a handful of rats, but the Bergund does not. So I believe they should be fine in picking off these units, but they're going to have to do so one at a time. Oh, there's Prodigious Sorcery. Okay. What does Sorcery do?
It gets Channel, it gets Incursion, and it gets Torches.
Incursion.
Can it get a Hailstorm out of the...
It can get a Pyrotech Explosion. It can get a...
Oh, that's a cool piece.
Double the... Oh, they're going to get the Hailstorm. Okay. And...
Do you get Hailstorm plus the Explosion? Yeah. I want to see Amplify with double damage. It's like a combo all by itself.
Alright, so they're going to fire off the Hailstorm, then they're going to Savage Incursion the site, get rid of that Garden. Draw some cards, get your own army of 6/4s. Whew!
Alright, well, this matchup is too smart for me. I can't keep up.
Alright, and then a harsh roll off the top for Slepher, so man, it feels like we're watching Turbo Fog again. We're just seeing units displayed, and then harsh rules, cleaning them up. I wonder how many Prodigious Sorceries Bergund's running. We can check that out.
Just the one.
Just the one. We're not gonna see that come back and deal a ton of face damage later.
Sadly, no.
All right, so settle in again, chat. We're gonna see some both players with a full grip.
Some green fireworks.
Yep.
This
Players
does not end now.
Players did not feel like playing the aggro decks today. All right, another garden. We're going to run out of gardens here pretty soon. Resurface. We can't see what Slepher's going to resurface, but I assume it's going to be some card draw here. Well, yeah, they have End of the Story. They have Harsh Rule, so they could deal with these units. All right, they're going to Treasure Trove, Wisdom of the Elders. There you go. You gotta love the funny synergy there, where Garden of Omens lets you pull any spell from your entire deck, and you say, okay, well, I'll draw 2 cards.
Easy block.
Didn't telegraph the Wrath anymore, but it doesn't really matter. Let's reset again. Let's Slepher with the active Garden.
Is it time for Scourge of Frostholm? Or do you think it's a reread
There
turn?
Now that you can do it in one turn. There you go. Okay, Scourge of Frostholm #1 is going to shut off all the spells from Slepher's side. And Slepher with no way to go to the market anymore. What did they use their merchant on?
Silverblade or Savage Incursion.
Savage Incursion, okay. The knife's gonna take out the merchant, but now it looks like this is just a race to another merchant. Slepher really can't do much else. How many more merchants do they have? They had played 1, 2. Looks like they played 2 of their merchants, but gonna end soon.
I think we're gonna see the game closed out before that.
Yeah, I think they have to draw it here because it's close to lethal.
Knife buys a turn, I guess.
Yeah, knife buys 1 turn.
You warp whatever you feel like. Probably just a card draw spell or the Channel the Tempest we haven't seen yet.
That's gonna put. Oh no, with their own knife and the torch, that should be it.
Oh yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, with Bergund's knife, that'll put the extra 5, and that torch will take it down. Whew. Lots of back and forth there, but once that Scourge came out,